Am I wrong for reporting my date for stalking his ex? I went on a date with a guy last week, just a first date out to drinks. And we were joking about being true crime fans and kind of paranoid people in funny little ways. And how one time I climbed on the table in an Airbnb to find what I thought was a hidden camera with a blinking red light, but ended up just being a ventilation fan. Then he told me a story about how he felt like his last girlfriend and now ex and his brother were sleeping together, even though both of them denied it. And he put a GPS tag on her car and confirmed it, but didn't tell them how he found out. I was super freaked out hearing that. My story was fairly silly, but his was downright scary. I took out my phone and quietly started recording audio, but just acted interested and asked, "So, how did you sneak the tracker off her car after you confronted them?" And then he laughed and said he didn't. He could still see it in an app. I asked if I could see it, and he showed me, like, "She's at work right now." I was like, damn, what a workaholic, 7 p.m., and changed the subject. We ended up talking about other stuff for a while, and I was looking for a way out of the conversation. I texted my mom saying I was on a date with someone who was scaring me, and I needed an excuse to leave that wouldn't make him mad. She called me right away and said that my dad was in the hospital and he was in critical condition and that she was coming to get me right away. This was BS. My mom took me straight to the police station with my audio recording to file a stalking report. The police took it really seriously and they sent a police officer to the girl's workplace, which I knew about because the guy had shown me her location and said she was at work, to warn her and to inspect her car for a tracker. Well, it got back to him ASAP because the girl told my date's brother, who she was still dating, that he was stalking her and the police found a GPS tag on her car. And the brother confronted him. He then started blowing up my phone. Luckily, he only had my dating app profile, calling me a narc, saying that he only did it because this girl was going to marry him and then went behind her back to screw his brother and he had to know, etc. I reported his profile to the app and also brought the messages back to the police station to see if I could file a protective order. It turned out I couldn't without revealing my full legal name, which I decided not to do since I have a very unique name and he only knew me by a westernized nickname based on my middle name. I also found out that he was arrested later that same night. But I'm feeling a little guilty. Like, of course it was messed up to still be stalking someone, but I guess I can also kind of see how he would want it to if his brother was sleeping with his long-term girlfriend. Am I wrong for having reported that? My girlfriend is upset that I didn't go to her brother's wedding with her because she was wearing a white dress. Last weekend, my girlfriend's oldest brother got married. She has one older brother and two younger ones. I was supposed to go with my girlfriend, but instead of wearing the dress she bought when we went shopping together with her mom, she wore a different one. It was a lacy white floor-length one. I asked her if it was really appropriate to wear a dress like that to someone else's wedding, but she said it's not a wedding dress. It sure looked like one, but she said it was only $150 and not a wedding dress. I decided not to go because she was being so inappropriate and I thought it would be too embarrassing. I messaged her cousin that I might have been exposed to COVID and couldn't come because I didn't want to make drama. I found out that she didn't change her dress before she went. I also found out that she got there later than she was supposed to, and she started to try to walk up the aisle to her seat after everyone else was sitting in their seats and the wedding was about to start. Her dad stopped her and she had to sit in the back, and her parents drove her back to her apartment so she could change dresses between the ceremony and the reception. Her cousin told me that she told everyone that since her brother is gay and there was no bride at the wedding, she didn't see a problem with wearing that dress. Her parents made sure that the photographer didn't take any pictures with her anywhere in them when she was wearing the white dress. She's still mad I didn't go, but I think I dodged a bullet. She still doesn't think she did anything wrong. Am I the asshole for being glad that my future sister-in-law had a miscarriage before my wedding? I swear that's the title, guys. I know this sounds very bad, but hear me out. Me, 24 male, and my fiance, 22 female, are planning to get married this summer. Now, one of her bridesmaids is her sister, 27 female, who planned to attend our wedding while 7 months pregnant. I obviously really didn't like that, as I figured that her pregnancy would steal attention from us, especially as she's one of the bridesmaids. And she's honestly such an attention seeker that I wouldn't put it past her to have gotten pregnant purposefully before our wedding in order to upstage us. But there was no way I could have excluded her from the wedding, as she's my fiance's sister, so I just dropped it. Oh my god, this guy is so insecure. First of all, okay, no one's gonna be looking at a pregnant lady at your wedding, okay? She's already done her wedding, she's already done all that. She's pregnant, like she's living her happy-go-lucky life. No one cares about you that much to plan their life around your wedding. I'm not gonna not get pregnant because your wedding's coming up to not upstage you. Like, you are a selfish piece of shit for even having that kind of thought process. And you're 24, you should be an adult, and you're getting married and you think like this. You just sound like a very, very insecure and jealous person. However, she recently had a miscarriage, and while I felt sorry for her, I was also kind of glad about it because now she wouldn't be able to upstage us at our wedding. Can someone explain to me how someone being pregnant at your wedding would any way, shape, or form upstage you? I've been to so many weddings where there's pregnant people there. I don't think anyone has ever given anyone more attention there. If they announce their pregnancy at your wedding, that's different. But if they're visibly pregnant, like, calm down. My fiance took me with her in order to console her sister, and there I said, well, you should see the glass half full. Now at least you can wear a smaller bridesmaid dress at our wedding. My fiance glared at me, and then her sister said, is your wedding the only thing you fucking care about? I tried to de-escalate the situation, but she just kept unloading on me about how much of a sadistic narcissistic I am, and when I've had enough, I told her, well, I'm sorry that your failed pregnancy won't allow you to upstage us at our wedding anymore, which made her burst into tears. My fiance tried to calm her down, but my future sister-in-law just told us to get out of her house, which we did. All hell broke loose at home when my fiance started scolding me about how I could be so insensible at her sister's recent trauma. But I told her that she was the one who started to insult me over an inoffensive mark meant to cheer her up. We've had a big argument about it and I'm sleeping in the guest room. She's still very bitter about it and says that she doesn't know if she'll be able to go through with the wedding if her sister decides to drop out of it because of me. I think she's overreacting about the whole situation, as her sister would probably stir up some trouble at the wedding anyway, but maybe I should have indeed handled the situation with her miscarriage better than how I did. So, am I the asshole? My girlfriend insisted on an open relationship and now wants to close it, but I'm having the time of my life. How do I proceed? So, me and my girlfriend are both 23 and have been dating for 4 years now. She had an ex before me, but it's my first and everything. Well, 6 months ago, she said she was looking into having an open relationship and it would be good for the two of us to get some experience. That way, we wouldn't get bored of each other. I was very against the idea, but she said there was no other option for her and I didn't want to lose her, so I agreed. We made the rule that we tell each other who and when we were hooking up with and others. And after 2 days of this starting, she went and slept with her ex. I was kind of sad, and to lift my spirits, my friends took me to a club. We danced and enjoyed our time there and joined a girl group. One of them started grinding on me and I took her number. We met up later at my place and we slept together and it was so much better. My girlfriend was what one would call a pillow princess. I had told my girlfriend about her and she just sent a thumbs up emoji and a text that she'd be hooking up with her ex again. It was weird and it did click to me that she just wanted to mess around with her ex, but I was also having fun and didn't want to close up again. I was feeling confident and handsome and attractive for the first time in a while, and I realized that she never actually made me feel that way. We started seeing each other less and less. We went from hanging out daily for the first 2 years to 3 or 4 times a week to once a week. One day we were out at the mall together and she stopped at a store to try on some clothes. I ran into a friend of mine in the store and we started chatting and openly flirting and ended it with her telling me that she hoped we could meet again soon in front of my girlfriend. I think on that day she changed a bit. She stopped sending me a text telling me who she was hooking up with and she said it was because she wasn't hooking up with anyone anymore. We started spending more time together because she wanted to. She started initiating more and started trying out new stuff and generally being more affectionate. I knew this was love bombing, but I enjoyed it, so I didn't really do much. I still took advantage of the open relationship though and would still go out to have fun, and this started irking her. She asked me why I was still with others now that she was giving me all the attention I wanted, and she insinuated that I wanted to cheat on her, which is why I agreed. To which I said I was the reluctant one and she brought it up. She said she regretted it and she only had one partner and realized he wasn't as good as I was, so she ditched him and now she wants to close the relationship again. I told her what she was like in bed and how I felt horrible around her before, and opening up our relationship brought back my confidence. She started crying and hugged me and said that she didn't know that and she'd make up for it with me and asked me if I was going to leave her. I said it had crossed my mind, but I thought not to. She cried harder, then fell asleep, and I realized that I really don't want to close this relationship. I've been feeling attractive and desired for a while now and I really enjoy it. She said she'll do her best to make me feel like that and said that she loves me and doesn't want me to leave her, and she's also changed a bit, complimenting me and stuff, which makes me feel a bit better. I'm actually willing to close the relationship, but I would need a guarantee that she won't go back to being what she was, which I don't really have. So here I am. Do you guys think it's best to close the relationship? Should I even stay in this relationship? Will she go back to being what she was?
Am I the asshole for bringing my sister-in-law's wallet to the restaurant when she conveniently always forgets it? My female 28, sister-in-law Amy, female 26, always comes to visit from out of town. She stays with us instead of a hotel and always wants to go to expensive restaurants. She always conveniently forgets her wallet or comes up with some excuses as to why she can't pay her share. She has implied that since I make much more money than her, I should be the one to pay. No, not my husband should pay, but me specifically. I do make a fair amount of money, but not so much that I can treat someone every time they come into town. Nonetheless, in the past, I have just paid the bill and asked her to pay me back. She never has. She had made a reservation at an extremely expensive restaurant last night, and before we left, I made it clear that I wouldn't be paying her bill. This is where I might be the asshole, and I'll admit, I got this move straight from an episode of 2.5 Men. As we were leaving, her and my husband went to the car. I pretended I forgot something and went back inside. I found her wallet sitting right on top of her suitcase. I put it in my purse and we went to the restaurant. When we were done eating, I asked for separate bills. She said, no, we need one bill because she, quote, forgot her wallet again. I reached in my purse and said, this wallet? She was extremely furious. She said that I should have not touched or grabbed her wallet. So, am I the asshole for taking her wallet and bringing it to the restaurant?